Today, I'm gonna teach you guys how to do a dark ride slide thing. I think it's called a dark ride. This is really uncomfortable. Let's get to it. So yeah, I don't really know what you call this trick. I call it a dark ride because it's like a dark slide, except not quite a dark slide. You're literally doing a dark slide, except you're like riding on an obstacle rather than sliding it like a board slide. So yeah, I call it a dark ride. You can call it a dark 50-50, whatever the heck you want to call it. It's the same trick. But this is one of my favorite tricks to do if the obstacle is just like asking for it, you know? Like if the top is slippery or waxed, this is definitely one of my favorite tricks to do on those obstacles. So let's get into this. I'm gonna teach you right now. So first things first, you definitely want to have kick flips down. And the reason I say this is because you want to have enough control with a kickflip to be able to catch it early. Because with a kickflip, as you guys probably know, you're waiting for it to flip around and you put your feet on the board when the grip tape appears again. That is not the case with this trick. With this trick, you do almost a lazy kickflip and you catch it on the tail of the board with your back foot and the nose of the board with your front foot. So you catch it early. And then you kind of let the trick do itself. It's really not that hard of a trick, but it does look really cool and no one's really expecting it when you do it. So yeah, step one, here we go. I think it's easiest to learn the half flip thing just on flat first. It's also not scary because you don't have to like roll and try it or try it up an obstacle. So just try it on flat first. This is what it looks like. Oh, I should have landed that. So just learning it on flat, all you do is you do a kick flip, except what I like to do is I like to wait a split second before flicking. Usually like when I kick flip, I try to flick pretty immediately. But for this trick in particular, I definitely ollie first, and then once it's somewhat leveled out, I flick just a little bit off the nose for it to flip halfway, and then I'm immediately trying to catch it with my back foot. And you'll get the hang of that. Like if you just try a couple lazy kick flips, they probably won't pop that high in the air, but you'll get that part down. Like if you just do a lazy kick flip, learn how to land it upside down. You probably did that on accident, learning how to kickflip. So in a way, you're kind of relearning the kickflip. But yeah, that part's not hard. What is a little more challenging is doing it up a curb. And the only reason that's a little more challenging is that you actually have to pop it somewhat high, because if you do it lazy, the tail's just gonna hit the curb and it's gonna flop. So that's why it's important to do an ollie first, do a flip later than you normally would with a kickflip, and then it'll land upside down. That's how you do the first part. So the second thing you want to worry about is making sure you get over the entire manual pad, because if you don't, and even if you get like this much of the tail hanging off of the manual pad, it's going to completely stop you. So you really want to make sure you get over the manual pad right here. Like, I mean, you can go as far as you want, but as long as the tail is not clipping the edge, you're good. And the only way to do that is to go faster than you might want to. But a good way to warm up to that is just kind of like stall a dark slide right here, and then just work your way going a little bit faster each time, and then eventually you will land right here. So the part that seems like it's the hardest part is actually the easiest part, in my opinion, and that is sliding. You can test the obstacle you're trying this on to see if it's slippery enough, literally by running and jumping on the board. What you just saw is how it should slide. So if it's not sliding like that, you either need to wax the obstacle, or we kind of cheated here at Trick Quarters, but we have a piece of wood that we lay on top of the manual pad, and we waxed the heck out of this specifically to do like blunt slides or dark slides in my case. Just if you're at a skate park, make sure you're not like waxing the main manual pad or ledge that everyone's trying to skate, because someone is going to get hurt probably, so don't do that. That's a train. So the slide part is actually really self-explanatory. You literally just stand on the board. That's it. Like, you don't really have to do anything. If it's a little sticky for you, but you don't want to wax it anymore because then you feel like you're gonna slide out and die, then all you want to do is push your legs forward slightly, like you're literally pushing along the board like that. My biggest tip for sliding is to try to not lean any certain direction, because you're going to slip out in that direction. And I don't mean you're gonna slip out and fall super hard. I just mean if you're not completely centered, you're not gonna go straight. Like if you're leaning forward, you're gonna slip out that way. If you're leaning back, you're gonna slip out that way. Just try to keep your shoulders completely centered, try to keep your weight completely centered, go straight. Another thing that will really help you out with sliding is to actually make a dark slide board. I usually don't do this, but I did just set up a brand new skateboard and I don't wanna ruin the grip tape. So here at Trick Quarters, we have a dark slide board, and that is basically where you cut the edges of the grip tape off. Actually, with this trick in particular, you would need to cut the nose a little bit, which we didn't do, so really this board is kind of useless. But yeah, if you cut the nose and the tail just a little bit, that's the part you're sliding on this trick. Or if you're doing like a normal dark slide on a ledge, you want to cut the sides of it. That will help you out a lot, so you're not like trying to slide on the grip tape, because grip tape is very sticky. So yeah, if the ledge is like super not sliding for you, just do that, and you'll be good to go, man or girl. And now for the part of the trick that is by far the hardest part, at least in my opinion, and that is getting out of the slide. So basically, to get out of the slide, you want to wait until the nose has reached about right here on the ledge or manual pad. You kind of want to like align the wheels with the edge of the manual pad. And this takes a lot of practice, but basically you want to push down with your toes right here. But you don't just press down like vertical, because that's just going to make the board go like this. You want to press down and do a shove it motion, but it's really important that you press down on your toes, because otherwise it's just going to do this, or maybe go primo. That happens a lot. You want to press hard enough so that it's almost like a pressure flip, like it's gonna go like that. And hopefully it turns around, you catch it, you right away, and everyone's like, whoa, that was something that he did. The thing that I actually still have a problem with is trying to do it without completely stopping. And I've gotten better at it. The first time I did it, I like stopped for like 2 seconds. But if you really want to make this trick look good, which I still don't make it look amazing, you want to keep on moving, and that's when you pop out. Me, I kind of like stop for a split second and then do it. Trying to get better at that. I have gotten better at it, but one fluid motion is like the way to go. But yeah, the best way to practice this is to not even try the slide. Just put it in this position and keep on trying to flip it out until you get the hang of it. Because if you can do it without sliding, just add the slide in there and you just landed the trick. I actually think it's harder to put the board right here and practice landing it like that rather than sliding, because you like have no momentum going forward. So that was actually a little tricky. My biggest tip for this trick is to commit to it, to commit to the landing part, because at first it really does feel like you're just like taking a chance flipping the board hoping to land on it, which is always scary. But if you just like try to land on the board with both your feet every try, even if it's upside down, it will work out for you and you'll get it more consistent, and it eventually doesn't become scary. That's kind of like any skateboarding trick. I should take that advice too, but I know you guys can do it. So things that can go wrong with this trick, not that you should be thinking about this, but you could land primo getting into it. I have never ever done that, knock on wood, but technically that could happen, but that could happen with any skate trick, so don't think about that. It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, you could slip out that direction, you could slip out this direction if you're not leaning, the right way, which is in the center. That's the right way. And the last thing that can go wrong is maybe landing primo coming out of this, just not landing on the grip tape. It's stereotypical skateboarding things that could go wrong. But I know you guys can do this. It looks like it's a hard trick, at least I think it looked hard before I could do it. But it's actually way easier than most people think it is. For a lot of people, it's just really weird landing on the board upside down on purpose. So if you guys can get that down, the rest of this trick will just come to you, You can also get creative with it. I have some ideas that I want to do for my part involving this trick. For example, I did a dark slide shove dark slide. That's fun. There's a lot of different variations that I've thought of that I want to try to do. So get creative with it, have fun with it. It's fun. It's fun times, So when you skateboard. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell to never miss an upload. I upload 3 times a week on this channel, and I also have a gaming channel that you guys can check out. I upload 3 times a week there as well on opposite days, so like literally 6 videos a week for you guys. That's it, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna make my board do a board slide. That was way too loud.